The correct way to switch scenes in Godot is by using threads to load them in the background, which sounds kind of daunting, but it's actually super easy. I'm going to cover that method quick and also cover how to make this little scene transition. So first I want to go into my autoload script folder and just make a new script. I'm going to call this scene loader. And after creating it, I'm going to go to project settings, globals, and just assign it as an autoload like so. This way we can call the load scene function from anywhere in the game. Now we'll start with the longest script. We're going to need two signals. The first will be emitted whenever the progress changes. So we can emit this with the current progress of the load. The next one will emit when the load has finished. We'll then need a reference to the loading screen. This one is a packed scene, and I'll set it to null now because we're going to set it up later. We're then going to make a variable for the loaded resource, also a packed scene, and this is the scene we're loading. We'll also need a scene path variable, which can just be a string. This needs to be script wide so that we can access it in two different functions. You'll see how that works in a second. We'll also be storing the progress in a similar way, and the type of this variable is going to be an array, and this is to match the data format that the ResourceLoader class gives us. And the last variable is going to be use sub threads. This will be a bool, and I'm going to set it equal to true. Now really quick, setting this to true means that our ResourceLoader is going to try to load a scene using multiple threads in the background. So you usually want to keep that enabled because it does mean faster load times in most cases, but I have run into issues in the past where my game crashes by using this. So I would just test it on your own. If it doesn't seem to be working well in your game, try disabling it and go from there. So next up, we'll define the ready function. The way this script will work is it's going to use process to constantly check if our resource has been loaded. And from the process function, once the resource or scene has been loaded, it will switch the game to that scene and then stop processing, which means initially we should disable processing. So I'm going to call set process to false. We then need a way to enable processing, which will all be triggered from this new function called load scene. So we do need to require a scene path, which will just be a string, and this function can return void. Inside of here, we want to update our scene path variable to underscore scene path. We then want to make a new loading screen instance. So I'll say var new load screen. We'll set it equal to loading screen dot instantiate. We'll then just add it as a child of the scene loader. So I'll call add child new loading screen. And then we want to connect our signals to a couple functions it has. So really quick, I'm going to say progress changed dot connect to new load screen dot on progress changed. Do note that this function doesn't exist yet, but we won't be making that in a second. I also want to do the same thing for the load finished signal. We'll call connect and connect it to new load screen dot on load finished. So our loading screen will play a fade in animation, and we want to wait to switch the main scene until the loading screen has fully covered our scene. I'm going to be doing that with a signal on the load screen. So I'll just say await new load screen dot loading screen ready. And after the loading screen has fully covered our viewport, we can then call start load, and this is going to start our processing. So next function obviously will be called start load. We'll define the logic for this. It can also return void, but inside of here we want to define a new state variable, and we'll set it equal to our first resource loader function. So I'm going to type resource loader dot load threaded request. This will start the resource loader loading a scene file, and all we need to give it is the path to the scene, which is just the scene path variable, also the type hint, which I'm going to also leave blank, and then we'll give it the use subthreads variable. And if this function doesn't return an error, we want to start processing and waiting until that resource is loaded. So I'm going to make an if statement here. I'm going to say if state equals okay. If that's the case, we'll set process to true, and this is going to start our main loop. So I'm going to scroll down here, make a bit of space, and let's make a new function. We'll define the process function. We can just leave delta crossed out, so I'm going to put an underscore here. And inside a process, kind of the logic is we want to get the status of our load and then check the status. Basically, if the load fails or we run into an error, we just want to break out of the load system. And if the load is finished, then we'll actually switch the main scene to the new scene. So the way we do that is first I'm going to define a load status variable at the top. I can set this equal to another function on the resource loader class. That one is called load threaded get status. Now to get the status of a load, you also have to give it the scene path. And the second argument's kind of weird. If we pass in an array, it's going to update that array, which is a one-dimensional array with a float as the only entry, and that float corresponds to the progress. So it's a float from 0 to 1. Kind of a weird format if you ask me, but because our progress variable is an array, we can just put it in there. So once we get the status, we can then emit the progress changed signal. So I'm going to call it progress change.emit, and we're going to emit it with progress at 0. And now we can match a few different cases for the status. I'll define a new match statement, and we're going to match obviously the load status. Now you can type the cases as integers if you want. I think my old tutorial actually did that, but I like using the enums directly. So if our status is ResourceLoader.thread_load invalid resource or ResourceLoader.thread_load failed, and let me zoom out here, then we will set process to false, which will just disable processing, right? The second match case is going to be ResourceLoader.thread_load_loaded, which will mean the resource has finished loading. Now, if that's the case, we're going to update our loaded resource variable. I'm going to set it equal to ResourceLoader.loadThreadedGet. We just need to put the path in here, and it will actually give us that loaded scene resource back. So with that resource, we can now switch the main scene to it. So I'm going to call getTree.changeScene_to_packed, and obviously we're switching to the loaded resource. And lastly, I just want to emit the load finished signal so that the loading screen can fade out. So I'll say load finished.emit, and we connected to this in the ready function, but we still need to define the logic for that. So let's move on to the loading screen. So I'm going to make a new scene at the top. I'm going to select other node. It's going to be a canvas layer. So really quick, I might just set the layer to something like 10, just so that we make sure it's going to be in front of everything else. And I'm going to rename it to loading screen. Now, what I like to do is just give it a panel, set this to cover the full rect, go into theme overrides and make a new flat style box and just set the color to black. And we'll make an animation player, which will just have an animation called transition. I'm going to set the duration to 0.5. On the first keyframe, I'm going to click on my panel and key in the modulation to 100% alpha or transparent. And on the last keyframe, I'll key it in again without any alpha. That way we have this nice fade in animation. I also want to make sure to select the autoplay button just so that the animation plays right when the scene is added to the tree. I'm going to save this scene in my scenes folder, and we'll give it a quick script. Put this in my scripts folder. So in this script, I'm going to define a signal. This needs to be named the same as our scene loader. So on line 23, when it's awaiting for the new load screen signal, I'm going to copy that loading screen ready signal, paste that as the name for this. I'll then make an export variable because we need a reference to the animation player. So I'll say the type is an animation player. Now in the ready function, it's going to automatically play the animation, but I do want to await until the animation is finished and then emit that the loading screen is ready. Right off the bat, I can just say await animation player dot animation finished. After that happens, we can call loading screen ready dot emit. I then want to define the two functions that we referenced in the scene loader. So if you remember, we connected progress changed and load finished to their respective functions on the new load screen. These aren't defined yet, so I'm going to copy the name of on progress changed. Inside of my loading screen, I'll define that function. This will obviously require the new value, which is a float, and this will give us the progress. This can return void, and I'm just going to pass in here for now. If you want to enhance this and make it your own, you can use this new value. This is the progress from 0 to 1 as a percentage to maybe do something like update a progress bar or update the visuals of your loading screen. That's a complete stylistic choice, so up to you how you want to use this function. But I will have to put some code in this next function. So copying again from the scene loader, we have the on load finished function. Doesn't need any arguments, can return void. This assumes now that our scene has been switched to, so I can directly call animation player dot play backwards to fade out. The name of the animation we want to play is transition, and I want the loading screen to automatically clean up after itself. So I'm just going to await until animation player dot animation has finished, and after that I can just call queue free. This will delete the loading screen so that your scene tree stays nice and tidy. So lastly, we just need to assign some references. Because I made an export variable here, select your loading screen and assign the animation player reference in the inspector. And I also want to go into my file system, right click my loading screen, copy the UID, and then go into my scene loader. And where we've set loading screen equal to null, I want to delete this and instead say preload and give it this UID that I just copied. Now I'm usually against using preloads all over the place, but in this case, because loading screen is kind of a direct component of the system and it's going to be used in basically every scene of your game, I think this is a perfect place to use preload. If you want to learn more about that stuff though, I do have a dedicated video on the topic. But from here, the system is done. So how do we actually use this? We have the load scene function that we can call, and because our system is global or a singleton, we can call it from anywhere. So for example, I have my main menu, and this is going to load into level 1. So what I've done is put a script on this. I've exported the path to my initial scene, which is level 1, and I've assigned it in the inspector. It's literally just a UID path. I'd actually recommend a more elaborate system, which I also have a video on if you want to check that out. But super basic code, whenever the play button is pressed, we just call scene loader.load scene, and give it the path to the scene that we want to load. This is how you work with the system, and it should handle the rest. So let's try it out. I'm going to run the game, and if I click on start, we will load into the main scene. Now again, because this is using threads, it won't block the main thread of your game, but instead load everything in the background. And this is like the advised way to handle loading in Godot. Now I'd recommend taking this tutorial a step further on your own. So for example, in the loading screen, try to do something with this on progress changed function, whether it's updating a progress bar or doing something fancy with like a visual shader. I want to give a quick shout out to all the channel supporters. Special thanks go to Delverax, Pixies Game Dev, and also Randall Lassini. Thank you so much to all the Patreons and YouTube members. Your support really helps a ton. And if you want to become a channel supporter, be sure to check out the links in the description. I also have the link to my Discord server if you want to join that. You can get help with Godot related stuff or just join the game development community. But thanks for watching the video. I hope you learned something new, and I hope the system was easy enough to follow along with. Be sure to check out my channel for more Godot related content, and I will see you guys in the next one. Bye.